Yeah, I'll take that one.
Hello and good morning.
Good morning, Matt. I'm just sitting here chugging away with taking trades.
Yeah, I need your help on gold position sizing. I could have murdered that sell on gold, except I didn't know how to put the put the stop loss properly.
Basically, what I do is wherever I enter,
Yeah.
I give a $10 stop and a $5 profit.
Uh,
That's what I do.
so me putting pips means I just got because I tried to modify my position after
Yeah,
I entered it.
I don't even look at it as pips. I just because pips is probably going to be probably like 4,000 pips or something like that.
Oh, it's a fraction. Like it
Uh,
literally I entered the trade and then it exited,
yeah,
but it was like a phenomenal move, like a phenomenal short.
yeah. Yeah,
um
I've gotten gold quite a couple times so far. Yeah, basically whatever when you get the alert,
yeah.
uh, and you look and see you're going to take it. If you're going to take it, just go ahead and click on to buy or sell it, and then
Hmm.
whatever entry price I get, I just give a $10 stop and a
So
uh,
$10 stop is
yeah
equivalent
yeah.
to.
Well, basically, for example, let's say you entered and the price of it that you entered is let's say 1810. That was your entry price.
Yeah.
Then I would get, and you're going short. So I give 1820 for my stop, and I go 1805 for my target.
Okay, okay. And that
It's that simple.
return,
It's that simple.
so that return on a point oh one would be what?
Oh, probably point one is probably be 0.01. I think it's going to be probably about 10 cents a dollar.
Okay,
It's a
I
t-
get it.
I think it's like 10 cents a dollar
Okay, okay, I get
because
it.
I do a point one, and I think I do point one. I think it's like point one is like $1 per
Dollar.
dollar.
Okay, that's good. That's solid.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because this move here that I missed out. Oh my god, man! It just melted. Um, so I actually made my own wedge. I used bags and then I put a wedge on it.
You just have to be really careful with gold, though, Matt, because
Yep.
it just go for the shorter target for
Yep.
profit. Don't
Always
go for the long haul because that's when it's going to screw you up every time.
good to know. But I have no appetite for that. I had a couple really good confirmations, so um, yeah.
Yeah, you just with gold, you know what? There's nothing to really tell you what it's going to do. It's so completely unpredictable. If you can grab a $2 move, you're good. That's 20 pips.
Oh, so here that would have been 60 pips. Okay, I get it. So it's like a $6 move.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
It's worth like back testing it just to
Yep.
see how it moves because it'll go like $2 to $3 in one direction, then all of a sudden retrace for
Yep.
the majority of the time. But once in a while, it will shoot longer one way or the other,
Good to
and
know.
then it'll just completely flip on you, and you can just lose your shirt.
Oh,
So
good to know.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hawkeye session. This is Wednesday, 8 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday, November or December 2nd. Entry in the foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in the foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objective, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investments, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of the risks associated with the foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. This is a live trading room. It is for educational purposes only. No financial advice or recommendations will be provided. Any trade taken during this live session is not a recommendation or a suggestion that you should also do the same. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Do not trade money you cannot afford to lose. Before trading live, always operate with a written trade plan that identifies the rules for entries, exits, targets, and risk management. And with that, let's check out. I don't have any charts to show right at the moment, to be perfectly honest, because we haven't had an alert since 2:14 or 2:15 this morning. So what we're going to do, we'll start off with just going to the Forex Factory to see what kind of news we have today. And it looks like we do have something on, this is Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. U.S. The Fed chairman is going to speak, so be aware of that at 10 o'clock. So we may get a little bit of movement at that point. And other than that, there's not much on the news bulletin. So let's go and see what we can find. We're going to have to be looking for something here because there's really nothing that. Let's go to Euro-US chart. And we'll just see what we can come up with. Let me check some harmonics and see if we have anything on the harmonic list to be able to look at. And there's a US Swiss that may be a possibility. Let's take a look at the US Swiss. Actually, let's do this first. Before we do that, let's go to our correlator. And we're going to check and see which is a strong currency, which is a weak currency. It looks like the Swiss is strong on all 4 time frames. So it looks like we could trade the Swiss against the US dollar. Possibly that's a little bit, not a real strong move there. Maybe a Swiss British pound might be a good possibility. So let's go and take a look at the Swiss British pound.
Yes, a question already.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Let's go. Good morning.
We like questions. We like questions.
I have yet to see a Swiss yen pairing. Is that just because I never came across it, or it's just something that's rarely done? It was just a thought as we were looking through. I know that's not a good on our setup now because they were right next to each other. They were 7 and 6, but I was just curious.
Talking about on the alert or just one in general?
Just one in general, like just like really a minor pair crossing. No.
Swiss. What was the Swiss? What?
Yen.
Swiss yen.
Let's take a look here and see if there's such a thing. If there is such an animal.
Well, it is. I just don't know if it's
CHFJPY.
But you're in the stock, so maybe it won't show up there. Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah, Juana's got one. Swiss yen. It's there.
Okay. It was, I mean, I know it was 6 and 7 on our charts, but I was just thinking that for a moment. Yeah. Thank you.
So let's go back and look at the Swiss. We're looking at the Swiss British. Let's see what that might bring us here.
Oh, wow. The yen dropped quickly.
Okay, Swiss British. Let's just take a look and see about that and see if there's anything that may give us an idea which direction this thing may be going. Let's see. Let's go to our 15-minute chart. Let's go to a 1-hour chart and see if we can figure out a direction on this thing. There's a little bit of looks like on the 15-minute, on the 1 hour, it looks like it's trending down a little bit. So we have a little trend up here. So try this. So we would be looking at taking this thing strength to the strength of the Swiss, which would be to the short side if we were to take a trade on this one. The spread is 2.3, so that's a little bit higher spread than 2.4. That's a little bit higher spread than I would normally like, but it's doable. You just have to keep that one in mind. So there's the downward trend. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. Looks like we have a little bit of a drop, a drop, a little bit of basing, another drop, basing. Look over here and see where our target could possibly be. And we have a little bit of a strong move up, wick over wick right here. This is right about where this thing is at right now. And this is actually somewhat of a retest area. And so if we can't find a trade on our alerts, we'll just see if we can find one on our own. This looks like this could be a nice little bounce area right in here. Our RSIs are all the way down here. If we get a hook below the 75 and get a hook up, we might be able to find a little trade there. Right now, it is strength to the downside. The Swiss is the strongest. The British pound is the weakest. So I wouldn't want to be trading it long right now, but I'd be looking for pullbacks. And we have a little bit of a wedge forming right in here. And let's go to our lower time frame, see if we can find something there. So right into a retest zone. Actually, let me get back over here so I can pull this back a little closer. Let's see, British. Let's take a look at something else here. And it looks like this thing could still go even lower still. If you get a break over, you are right in this wick over wick here. They could just blow right through this whole area. And it looks like it still has a lot of, you may want to wait for it to break, come back and retest this box right here. If we draw a wedge, even though we didn't get the alert, this is not a pair that we would get an alert on anyway, so we have to keep that in mind. A break here, so we have the break. This could be a nice little short, actually. And to the downside, if it keeps on the bottom of this box here, we've got 12 pips, so we could get maybe 5 pips with this break. Wait for a pullback to retest the bottom of the wedge. What do you think, Matt?
Sorry. Yes, I'm just actually looking at bags for potential entries, just for.
Oh, okay.
Just for, yeah.
That might be a possibility too.
So I'm just waiting for an alert on that. So I'm not really watching. Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, basically what happens is if we don't have any alerts, so you can either just sit and just do nothing, or you can go out hunting. And so we have a couple options with the some of the EAs that we have available to us when they give us alerts like that. The new bags, what we call bags, is actually Aereo. When it gives trade ideas and alerts, and it's been working out pretty well. So when we get an alert, a notification of a trade on that, we can always take a look at that one as well. It has several different pairs than just the U.S. pairs. Let's see. I said we get a pullback back up into this wedge area, we may be able to get another retest. We did get the break, came back, retested, and now it's looking like it's breaking through the bottom of this our box right here. Could probably try and take it. You had the blue candle, you got the red candle coming in. Up here would have been probably where you would, I wasn't ready to take this trade, but this is where you would have taken the trade, right up in this area. And looking for our 7 pip target would be 1953. And there would be the target right there. Actually, that would have been a nice trade. It would have been a little bit earlier on that. Looks like it's coming down to retest the bottom of this, of our target zone. And so if it breaks that,
Al, while you're looking, if it breaks there, Pedro was just mentioning that the Kiwi US RSI was below 25, and we have a long entry trade.
Kiwi US. Okay,
Yes.
well, let's go take a look at that one.
Thanks, Pedro.
Yeah, this one looks like this one's pretty much already, this would have pretty much hit your target already at this point if you were looking at this bottom of this. So Kiwi US, let's go to that one. I said we're just still waiting for some trade alerts to come up. Kiwi US. If any of you, if we don't have, especially we don't have anything showing, if you have any trades that you want to look at, feel free to just ask and we'll take a look at them. We're just here to learn and trying to try and make some money, but primarily we're just here to learn. So Kiwi US, what do we see with that? We look at the dollar is stronger by 4 on the 1 hour chart. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. And let's see here. It's not waiting for it to propagate. There it goes. Not a big spread. And let's see what's our range here. We have from the top to the bottom, we have 53 pips. Nice range there, nice little drop. And we're starting to, we got the crossover of the 30 moving at 30.62. Got the crossover on everything but the 15. And if we're looking at the overnight, here's the overnight high. This is basically the overnight low, but this was yesterday's low over here. So let's take a mark on that one as a reference. And this is the overnight high up here. Put in our range box. And we look and see here's a drop. Here's a little bit of a pullback. See where our fib lines are. Set up our, we'll go with our 5-minute fib lines. Actually, I'll make it 15 and see if there's any 15 ones there. Here's a red, here's a green. I should have a blue one up there. So right now we're bouncing right around this 15-minute red zone. We'll mark that. Oops, wrong one. 15-minute red. Here we go. We'll lock it. We have a pass and check, came back up checking it, and this thing could, if this holds, we could possibly get a trade to the downside on this. If we retest the bottom of this, we would have 10, 12 pips, so we could possibly take a short up in this area. Let's see what it looks like on a higher time frame, lower time frame. And here's the overnight low. There's the high. Here's a hit, and we'll flat top it. Looking for a break to the bottom, to the downside. Looking for the break. Right now, the Kiwi is stronger right now, just a little bit stronger, but not much. This thing looks like it could be possibly trying to turn around here. We had the break of the 15-minute break, retest, crossed over, couldn't hold it. Right now it's just trending right around this area right in here. Or its range is basing right now in here. I say we get a break on either side of that box, we could possibly take it. We have room to 70.55 to the 30.62, 55. That's you got 7 pips to the upside to retest the this trend line, or this moving average is 30.62. And let me see what else we have here. Kiwi USD. Let's see, our moving averages on this one are, we have the crossover of the 62. The green's coming up, consolidating with the 13. Now the question is, if the 13 can hold without crossing over the yellow, it might be a nice early entry to go along on this one. But for breaks, if it breaks the C, we're looking at the A here for the target. And that's going to be at 70.32. And that's 8 pips down below. Right now I'm looking to see if we can keep this green fib line, or the green 5-period moving average from crossing the yellow and still holding. Right now we're getting the consolidation between the 62, the 5, and the 13 all in this little area right here. So it's starting to consolidate. It's making lower highs and equal lows. So right now, if we can get a break above this area back into the wedge, it might be a nice little move to our long side. Let's see, I kind of like the breakout of this one. And looking for the target being up here. If it does break, that would be looking for a nice little target. I'd like to see it close above the 15-minute fib line. If we can get a pass and check and maybe come back and retest that, then we maybe have it. So basically I'm looking for something like this where we get a nice move up, pass it, come back, check it, and then going up to look for that. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And if we do get that, then we would be having a risk level of somewhere around, you can keep your 7 pips the other side of the box here. So that'd still be well within a while. If it breaks out and comes up, it should not retest this. We get a close on this candle, a blue candle, come back. As soon as it pulls back, I'll go back and enter this trade for a buy.
That was a lot of messages, wasn't it?
I heard something. We'll see how this 1-minute candle closes. This candle closes bullish, then I will just do a market order into the trade. We have about 4 seconds. There's a nice little pullback, and I'm in the trade. And I'll put the target up here, right about there. That's going to give me, there's my 7 pips. And my stop is going to be under here. So it comes back through. I'll take a swing at the bat on this one. I'm risking 5 pips. And I'll give myself the spread difference, a little bit more room on the 2 pips more. Don't want the spread to take me out before it gets to where the price is. One thing I like about this trade is that this green, the 5-period moving average came to the yellow, could not cross it, came back up, started widening out a little bit. There's just a pullback. The 1 minute 62 is getting a little bit wider. We'll see if it comes back and tests it. I want to keep my stop below the 62 and below this box area. And looking for a trend line from the A to the C. This is still a higher low. I can move my C over. This is still a higher low. I'll keep this one since this one's not closed out yet. Nice little pullback. I said it didn't even go 5 pips against me. And if it comes up here and stalls again, I may want to just think about rethinking the trade. But right now, it doesn't look too bad. And if we draw a fib line from the C to the A where we got in to this area right here, and we look and see this could be, well, let's see, this is 1-to-1 ratio. This is a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 would be up to here or higher. Let's see if that works out. Not sure that's going to be it for this one, but we'll see. Pedro, that was a good call on this one. I think it was a good call. It looks like it's a good long on this one. New Zealand's first currency of the pair. It's a 5 to a 1, so that's showing some strength to the upside.
I don't know if Pedro would like to share how he hunted that one.
Okay. You want to share your screen there, Pedro? You can do one of two things. You could either well, I don't know if you have a microphone that you can talk to us. You're certainly welcome to.
She said, sure.
And you can bring you over to a panelist so you can share your screen and let me know when you're ready. The more we can share each other's thoughts and things, the more it helps the whole group, which that's what these trade rooms are all about, is to get a community of like-minded people that trying to share ideas, and you got more eyes looking at things, and it's all helpful. You ready? Okay. Okay. I'm going to put you over in the panelist here, Pedro, since you're willing to do this for us. And there you are. And I'm going to turn your mic on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Great job, Pedro, by the way.
Yes, to unmute.
Hey guys, good morning. Can you hear me?
You are. There, I do. Thank you for sharing this. So, what have you got? Do you want to share your screen?
Well, to be honest, I just happened to log in, and I was looking at last night's early in the 2 in the morning or something. There we had an alert on this pair NZD USD, and I just happened to click on the screen. I just looked at the RSI, at the big movement. I was more a visual thing than me mapping anything out, and I noticed the RSI was below 25, and then I saw that rapid cross, on a 15-minute.
Yeah, actually we did have an alert at 2:15 this morning. We did have an alert.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was because I didn't.
Let me go and spot that one here. Trade. I'm getting so many different ones here. I'm running out of room here. There you are.
As well.
Yeah, here's where the alert was. Boy, we had the alert.
It was descending.
It was a descending. It was a descending wedge. Yeah. So
2:15 in the morning.
Yeah, that was right in the middle. That was just before the London session opened up.
Yeah. So that was a good.
That was a nice little short.
Yeah. How many pips?
From the alert to the, let's see, it was a descending wedge. I'm not sure where it was descending from, but
right.
I would have had to have drawn the wedge something like this, from here to back here to here to here. Here would have been probably where the break was, came back to the retest right in this area. And so the break was here, break, retest. It took a while for it to retest in that area. That was that would have been a nice little trade here from up here down here. That's 48 pips.
Oh. Yeah, I look back too. There's a big trend line. If you look at higher
higher time frame.
And you can right there.
Yeah, from the here on to. Let me move this out a little bit. Let me take this box off there.
But if you also look at at the top trend line, if you go all the way back, there's a trend line that it's going up, and then
we have a little channel, like an upper channel.
Right, kind of a channel.
There's the upper channel.
The trend is up, so we're trading against the trend. But it broke on the downside, so it's retesting the bottom.
It's pretty much retesting this area right through. Actually, I'll pull it up a little bit higher here. I'll catch this wick, and maybe take it over to this one there. So it's kind of bouncing right off the bottom of this trend.
Yeah. That's kind of like I kind of did a visual thing. I'm like, oh, that looks like a good one because the RSI was right below 25. I mean, it was all the way down there.
Right. Well, that was a great call.
Yep.
Visual thing.
Mhm.
This is on 3 hour. This is a 3-hour bar. So if we look at a 15-minute, see, it's taking a little bit of heat right now. It seems like it wants to break to the upside. Let's go to our lower time frame. Let's go to our 5-minute here.
Because the trend is it's trading on it's going on an uptrend, so we're catching on a lower.
Yeah, basically the bottom of this channel, we have a channel going on here.
Right.
And so right now it's bouncing off the bottom of the channel to go up higher. So it's which kind of means it's a little bit somewhat range bound in a higher time frame sense. Let's take this off here.
I mean, it sounds like it has a lot of room to go to the up to go long. The question is,
yeah, I do like it as long. It's I think it had a nice little pullback. Now it's just we have to drop a base. It broke through this base right here. There's a little basing going on right in this area right here. This little basing candle. It made a new low, and then it's starting to trend back up. We got all the moving averages on this 5-minute. They're all switching over. We got the 5 crossing the green, actually 5's crossed the green, and now we still have this 5-minute RS62 way up here. That would be a good target as we have these consolidating breaking could come very up and test this. So you may have to take our profits a little bit earlier. We have a little drop, a little basing right in this area.
Yeah.
So we have this one, and so this is sort of a retest area. This was a retest that now is broken. And so our moving averages are such that they're all moving now, moving in the right direction. And they said this target, the 5-minute 62 is coming on down. And we could just move as time goes on, we'll just move this down. So, because oftentimes you're going to get that bounce off the 562, which is right here at this retest area. So rather than, I don't want to not take the profit. If it gets up there, I don't want to not take the profits because of a half of a pip. So I'll just put it right here on this line. And if it comes up and tags the line and doesn't take me out, then I'll just close it out myself.
Don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy. Don't give up 10 pips for half a pip extra.
I think Pedro's been listening. I don't know.
It's how I listen.
Well, it's working, right?
Don't put your pips on somebody else's bank account.
That's exactly right.
That's very true.
And I always say I like to leave a little bit for the next guy. So the next guy, even though they may not make a lot, they still have a chance of making a little something. This business is hard enough without trying to get every last little pip out of it. This nice little wedge over wedge.
Not to get a little off subject, but I've used a lot of your, what I've learned here in mindset and not be greedy and be able to, take profits on my stock market. And I've pretty much 4x my earnings so far.
Well, good for you.
Wonderful.
Good for you.
And there was a lot of numbers and a lot of zeros, a few zeros.
Well, good. Well, we're really happy to hear that. Here's good reports of people that are making some money. And, it's a trading. I always say trading's a 3-legged stool. It's you have the technical analysis, you have the money management, and the hardest one is the emotional, the BTE indicator, as we say. That's the hardest one to get control of because the fear, the greed, expectations, and everything else all plays into that, and that makes a huge factor on your win-loss ratios. And you just have to be able to get control of that and make sure that you train your mind, because so much of it's subconscious. You're doing trades, taking trades, you don't even know, like, why am I doing this? And you have to train it to be as specific as possible so that it becomes somewhat subconscious. And so it's nice to hear that that you're being successful with this, and that our room's doing you some good. It's a nice thing to hear.
Yeah, it's great.
I appreciate it, because at the end of the day, trading is trading. I'm still not I'm not trading live on Forex, but I've used what I learned here to maximize my earnings and be on the stock market.
Yeah.
Which is, I look at it, trading is trading, and mindset is mindset, lines, trending lines are trending lines, and I mean it's
Absolutely,
it's really helpful.
Everything we teach here, it works, whether you're stocks or futures. It all works. It's all
Right.
a lot of the pricing is algorithmic trading, and but the Fibonacci's they're not just by happenstance. There's something to it, and it may be because of if enough people follow it that it makes it happen. There could be somewhat of a self-fulfilling prophecy with the crowd, but what we do works on all stocks, and some stocks move faster than others, and sometimes you have to go to a higher time frame to be able to see where the moves are. But yeah, it all works.
So thank you.
No, you're very welcome. We're happy to have you in the room, and I'm glad to see you here just about every day that you can be. And it does me good to know that I'm not just sitting here talking to myself.
No, never. No, don't you ever think that way at all. We're just like absorbing the information.
Mm-hmm. And it's nice that you want to share and give us your feedback and open up, because we know it's not easy to do that. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I'm happy to. Thank you.
One thing I found out that with trading, that the more I teach, the better I get. It helps my own personal trading, because it makes me have to be somewhat accountable for what I do. So a lot of times I'm more disciplined as I'm teaching this stuff than sometimes as I was before when I was just trading on my own. So that's the value of these trade rooms, to do that, share ideas. So as I get different people looking at different things, and just it all works.
Yeah, and the only thing I'll add too, I'm wondering, and now I don't have the new indicator, the IRO, which I'm gonna get, but I'm curious to apply, this strategy here to be maybe even entry to get earlier entries using on the IRO. But I mean, that's something that I have to test. But I'm actually curious to
absolutely. In fact, I've been doing just that. I just put it on this week, so I've been kind of playing around with it this week. And when I get the alerts, I mean, with the IRO, it's basically not all trades should be taken, because sometimes it's at a supply zone or a demand zone, and so there may not be room to get the profit. But what I'll do is I'll get the alert, and I'll just throw it on the chart and just see what it looks like with the price action, and just see if it makes sense can I get that 20 pips move out of it to take my profit. And so I do that, and that's one of my decision factors that I use with that. And it does, sometimes you can safeguard it. Maybe I keep the stops pretty much the same as he recommends, but a lot of times I can just look at the chart and just see, is there room for 20 pips? And if there is, I just take the trade and then wait, and I just let it go, let it do what it's going to do. And it works. It's been working out pretty well.
Awesome.
So in fact, it's just been chugging. I took a couple of trades this morning. It's just been chugging away.
Nice.
Yeah. And actually, the gold and the S&P have been working out very well with that as well.
Wow.
So,
that indicator looks really, really promising. That
I did the beta testing with that one, and I think I was up about 30% in about 2 weeks. And that wasn't taking all the trades. That was just sort of like kind of just playing with it. But it's the win-loss ratio was really pretty. It was pretty high, pretty high win ratio.
They mentioned 80%, but even if it's just 60,
Yeah,
you know,
I think 80% is realistic. Like I said, you're giving it a little bit more room than what we're doing here.
sure.
On this on this forex trades, it's pretty much looking at a 40 pip stop and a 20 pip target. But when you see the supply and demand zones that he has drawn, you can usually see if there's room to make the profit or not. And if there is, you just take the trade. I said I'll do a quick analysis on the RSI and the price action, and see where my demand zones, where my supply and demand zones are, and see if is there room to the upside for it. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his algorithm is, but it seems that whatever he has to generate those alerts is pretty good. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking that one out. This tree is just hanging in there, but no, we're just gonna let it play its way out. Right now, everything still seems to be. Now you can see that as we march across the right hand side of this chart, we're actually seeing where the 15 5 period 62 is coming down. So I'm just gonna keep lowering my target a little bit, and if for no other reason, just so that I mean we're still looking at this zone right here, but it's I'll maybe move it down here. If it starts coming up, it may punch up into this retest area.
You know, the 1 minute 62, it just keeps it keeps bouncing off of it. So as support. Oh, now it's breaking onto the downside.
Until now.
Until now, yeah, because I spoke.
We did get the crossover right there.
Boy.
But I'm still looking at the bottom of this. Well, here's my stop. So if it comes down this area, if it stops me out, then I'll just, it looks like I can get back in again. I will, but I'm looking at this as sort of the, we have it. You can see where it's trending. Here's a high, a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, base, strong move. Here is a retest right down here. Off this wick, off of this candle right here. So it may come back down and retest that.
Yeah.
And so this is the wick. So this held. This just took my stop. And see, it took my stop and didn't even didn't actually hit where the stop was, but the spread got me. They widened the spread. It's got a 2-point spread.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens now. But if we get this crossover, I may be wanting to jump back in again. Right now, the dollar, of course, the dollar is stronger right now by 3. So just this pullback, I only had about a 6 pip stop on that, so we're still good. As if you have small stops, you can have a 50-50 win-loss ratio and still make money if your wins are still bigger than your stops.
Sure.
We did get another alert.
Did we finally get one?
Yes, but it's not coming up for me, so
maybe someone else can check it out. The New Zealand US descending.
Oh, look at that, Pedro, right in front of you.
There you go, New Zealand US descending. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's draw this one out. So we come over here and go to our 15-minute chart.
Descending.
Let me just clear all this extra stuff off of here. Actually, I'm gonna keep this on here. It's still descending. Moving averages are still coming down. We still have, right now it's in the middle of nowhere right now. But here's a strong move down. Here's a little flag. And I would say we already drew this one out. So let me just take that one off right now. We have a couple little wick over wick areas right up in here. This was at 30, I think it was.
No, I think 45.
45. So
I
it's
believe.
right at the open of this candle right here.
It says a head fake. It's gonna go back.
Nice wig up. And if we get the break over this, if we get the, let's see, we know it's descending. We already know that. Let's go a lower time frame here and see what we got. Has dollar strength. This was the candle that generated the alert. Took out this area right in here. Let's see, 42. There's a drop, though. There's a doji right in there. I would say just take it short. Look at that spread on that, though. That you got, and we'll see where it does. Put the stop at. We'll put the stop above here, which is at 44 to. That's 5 pip stop. Take profit of 12. We'll do a stop at 7, then we'll readjust it. This could be the retest of the overnight low. And we also should have a fib line somewhere down here. And we'll take it to the green fib line. 7 pip profit.
It's probably gonna retest that.
We have our moving averages are in the right direction on this one, and we knew that the moving averages on the 5-minute were below the 62. And on the 15-minute, our moving averages are in the right direction. We have our 62, 13, and 5. This one came down hooked, couldn't cross it, so this means it's still going to head on down. And we have a trend line. This was our lower trend line. Let's see where this is here. Tweak that one. We did get that bounce. Here's where the bounce is here. And we'll see what happens. We do have a little trend coming off at the top of this. We have our stop above this line. And this could be our trap. I use this whole wick right here off of this candle for the trap area. And we're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour, so that we may get a little movement from that. And remember, we had an announcement at 10 o'clock. And this was kind of the retest of the. We have a low here. Here's the where the just below before the alert came back up and retested this area right in here. So here was the break, came back to retest, and now we could be looking for a target. Right down about in this area right in here. We had here's over look over here. Here's a rally. Here's the pullback rally. So we had a little bit of a basing right in this area. If we pull this thing over, let's see, it comes right down to the bottom of this candle right here. Where it just catches the wick on this pullback. Now it's basically retesting this area. It still has a little bit of room to the downside still. And look for a fib line. Look for a 5 minute. Now seeing my fib lines here. Here's a red line right here, where pretty much right where we got into the trade. And here's the blue right on my target. That's the green one right there. Six pips looks like an awful big move on here for only 6 pips worth on this pair. And we'll see if it was just a head fake or if it's going to come back up and hit our trap. We did have a retrace extreme down at the lower, right here at the bottom. This is a retrace extreme down here. So this thing could start to head back to the upside. We'll see if it'll hold this or not. You look between this area and right here, the blue line, we're probably not looking at a lot of pips here. You only have 4 pips to the trend line. I'm going to move this up a little bit. I don't think it's going to, I think it could very well maybe have a hard time even getting to this target area. Try and get at least profitable on this one. It's fighting this little trend line here, and then once it comes down, it's probably going to bounce off of this one if it can break through here.
No, there's at least a 4-point spread on the RCS. The other one. The US is moved on the higher side.
Yeah, we're right at 9 o'clock, so we just had the opening of the 9 o'clock candle.
Yeah, I've got really nothing thus far.
No, it's just been sitting there. I'll tell you, it's a very small channel, really. Here's the retest of the 1 minute 62. Don't have the crossover yet. And if we get a close above this, I'll get out of this trade. We have this little wedge area right in here. We still have to kind of get to this downtrend, and just breaking this up channel, and then still off this downtrend, it's got to break through. This could be the trap right in here. And on the 1 minute, let's see how this RCS tool is on the We have the dollar strength on the dollar still strong on the 5 and the 15, so that's good. I'll move my stop down a little bit closer. Came right up into the trap. We'll see if the trap can hold it. If we can, this would be an area where you could, if you still believed in the going short, this would be the area to take it short up here at the trap area. You see right where the two trend lines consolidated right here at this little pivot. Came right up in there, couldn't hold it. At least not yet. It doesn't mean it won't. Still looking for a target down here. See if it can break below the bottom trend line. If it can't close below this blue trend line, I may just bail on this trade. This could be another little trap right down in this area. Now it's back into another wedge right here. Still consolidating. Not giving us a whole lot of work to work with today, is it?
No.
No, no, unfortunately, not a heck of a whole lot. Like no alert, no nothing that I can really play with here. Trying to
Yeah.
figure out what we can do, but I don't
Well,
want to force anything, right?
All we can do is, if we can't get any alerts, I mean, this was an alert, so we have this one to work with, and we have been working with it. And it's given us a little bit of practice of the technical analysis and the following of the candles and the bars. But it'd be nice to have a little bit more volatility here than what we're getting. A lot of the volatility seemed to happen before we sat down here tonight or this morning. We'll probably get a little bit more action. Maybe we are into the 9 to 9:30 half hour segment, but it's just taking its time. And this is trading. Patience. Most of the time, you're sitting on your hands doing nothing. All right, so what's the best place to put this trap area in? We had a nice little wick over wick. Here's a drop. Here's the little basing area right in here, right over this 15-minute area. Could come up here and tag this, and then if it comes in here back into this area, I'll take my hit, and if it gives me a chance to get back in, then maybe I will get back in. But I'd rather try and take it short up here than try and take it short down here. A lot of times, if you get stopped out, all it does is maybe give you a little bit better entry. You pay the spread a little bit, but sometimes it's still better off doing it that way. if you look at these candle formations on this, you'll see where on this 5-minute chart, you'll see where you had it. It was actually an engulfing candle. You have this high and low on this red candle. You have this blue candle closed higher, but then it broke down. This was the candle broke it down. So this was where it was engulfing. So this is actually the area where it's being retested again. And then up here we have a same type of scenario here. We have a drop. Here's a little base. There's the bottom of the base. Here's the wick, and this is another retest area. And so there's an announcement at 10 o'clock. So we may get a little bit more movement at after 10 o'clock when the Fed announcement, Fed chairman speaks. And that may be why everything's so slow right now.
Yes, but don't we have to be out of the room for Susan today?
And so, yeah, we're going to get, that's right. Susan Batchelder is going to be on at 10 o'clock. You may want to check her out, see how she trades these alerts.
Yeah, and the market specifically.
We have two different techniques. One's a little bit more, I call higher time frame with larger stops, and so we're going for very precise entries. They're starting to come down a little bit. Let's see what happens here. We're getting the crossover of the fast and slow RSIs. Another bounce right off this trend line here.
And our moving averages crossed the red and yellow and green,
Yep.
5 and 13s. So.
Yep. The green is just bouncing right at the crossover point. It keeps flipping back and forth here.
I think
It's very wicky right now. A lot of wicks.
Mm.
I'm looking at the S&P chart. There's wicks all over the place for the last couple hours. It was interesting when we first started trading these wedges. Our average time in the trade was about 20 minutes. Now it's turning into being several hours for the same movement.
So true.
Anybody else have any questions, comments, anything they'd like to share or ask? Now's a good time. We're about ready to be wrapping this thing up in about another 10 minutes.
Are we having class again this evening? Well, tonight?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, we'll plan on having class at 9:30 this evening. Oh, yeah, the Wednesday night session. See if anybody shows up, and if they do, we'll have a session. If not, we won't. There's not a lot of movement at that time of night, but although we have had some evening sessions where we've actually had some really nice trades out of it. Problem is you just don't always get the volatility that you'd like to get. Let's see, we were looking at the, I guess we changed our chart on that. What was that? It was a British, New Zealand, I think it was. No, it was the,
British.
Swiss, a British Swiss. That's what it was. Let's see how that thing worked out. British Swiss, I think that's what we were looking at. Yep,
Yes, it was.
That one worked. That one worked out. That was one that we just found off of our RCS tool. We looked over the strongest and the weakest, found an area, and found a wedge, broke out, took a trade, made our targets on that one. That must works about as good as anything.
It's nice to see when that works out.
Yeah, well, I said especially when we don't get any alerts or anything else, and we try to hunt for trades. This is about as good as it gets to try and find the pairs to trade against. Then the question is you have to make sure that when you do that, then make sure you check the spread to make sure the spread's within tolerance. Some of these spreads can get to be pretty aggressive on some of these pair combinations. But right now, the Swiss seems to be the strongest currency of the whole bunch on all 4 time frames. And then you start looking to see which is the weakest on the clear majority. And Swiss, this one won the toss up today. Just traded to the strength of the Swiss. And it worked out. It's still going, I believe. Let's see how the New Zealand US, you see where that's looking at on this chart. Here's New Zealand, here's the US. You can see that this is on the 3-hour chart. They're pretty much in the middle of the pack. You've got 3 above, the 3 below, and this is the right in the middle, and this is at the high of the low end. So that's not a real strong, it's not a real strong trade. The Euro Aussie would be not too bad. I like looking for like the top 2 and the bottom 2. Like you could do the Euro New Zealand, Euro British. That would be another option here on this one. I see where like the Japanese and so on, and I'd primarily I like to look and see what it's doing on the 30-minute, and to see if the lower time frames will confer that. So this would be the Japanese yen is the top two. It's in the top 1 right here. And you can see where the bottom 2 are. Like here would be the New Zealand. We have New Zealand and British. So you can maybe try like the Euro British would be another possibility, or Japanese, the yen British. And so you'd be trading to the strength of the yen. So we do that. See if I can find that one here. The yen, British yen. So we're going to be trading this to the strength of the yen, which is the second currency of the pair. Looking how our time frames is. Put it on a 30-minute chart to see what kind of direction we have. See what kind of strength we have. You can see all our RSIs are below the 40-60 area, both pointing down. That shows strength to the downside. You don't want to be taking that short. It's propagating the strength on this. So you'll be looking at this, trying to then take your Fibonacci lines off, see where your trend is. Nice move down. Here's where there's probably going to find some resistance here. This is where the beginning of the strong move up. And so you have to be careful that you're not getting near the end of the move. So you may be looking at a little bounce off of this area. Check your Fibonacci lines and see where the time frames are. And we have a blue, red, green, blue. So here's the range. This is coming off of the support resistance line on the blue, coming down into the red area. You might expect a bounce off of this one right here. And so that would be the 15-minute red. Here's a 15-minute blue. And here's a 15-minute green. And then you go and put this thing on a 5-minute chart and you see where the ones are in between it. And so here's your 3 levels in between your blue and your red. Here's your 3 levels in between your red and your green. And you're just looking to try and find where the bounces are. This is still pointing down, so you could be looking at this is put this on a 15-minute chart. You see that this strong move down came down, you had the wick right here. So be careful about taking it short at this area. You may want to wait for the bounce and then have a retest of this area. Or this may not even be a bad area to try and take it long, but I don't think it's done with the move yet. And that's how we do that. You can come over and get on your lower time frames. Go to your 5-minute chart. And now you can see you're in the lower third, so it would not surprise me to see a bounce between here and here. This would be a retest. And then up here, the upper third of this would be a pullback. And see if you have the range to be able to make a trade out of it. If it comes in here and has one up that area, is your other 7 pips from here to here? There's 19 pips. And to the downside of this is 9 pips. So look for a crossover of the moving averages on the 1 minute. Had a nice little bounce. And if it can break, if you get the crossover of this and you see your target, you can use your 62 as a target. If you can get a close above this yellow line, still have 9 pips to the upside. You can still get your 5 or 7 pips out of here. I wouldn't want to take it long just yet. You want to wait and see if it can break to the bottom. And I would be looking at this little area down in here as a trap. These are starting to get, these are crossed over. And how's our RSI, our RCS tool is still showing the yen as being destroyed. Let's see which one here. I need to change by colors on this one. I need to make this one purple. So right now the British pound is weaker, but it is getting stronger. Okay, here's the market open. And we got an alert with the British yen, which is that's interesting. We just got a arrow alert on the British yen to sell, which is the one we're looking at right now.
It's a little bizarre.
And I'm good. Yeah, just
Of all the pairs.
all the pairs out there, they picked the one that we were actually looking at, and it says to sell it. And I'm saying, looking at this thing could, what I would say, I would be looking at. I'm okay with taking this short because as it British yen. Let me look at it, see what the zones are. Here's what this thing looks like on, just so you folks know what this thing looks like. Here's the alert that you get with this arrows, and it just says the British yen sell. So what I'll do is I'll come on up to the get my British yen pair up. If I can find it. Let's see, British yen.
All the way the first one out.
Was it over there?
Yep, there it is. Yeah, it's first one to the left.
Left.
Yeah, all the way go left.
All the way. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Thank
right
you.
There. You're welcome.
Because somebody can see it. Okay, it's set to sell, but here's what I don't like the idea is that this thing is right here in the screen zone, and we're looking at looking at it for possibly taking it long. So I'm going to pass on this trade just because I don't like the position. If it were up here, I would say sure, I'll take the trade and I'll look for this as a target. Or if it's in the middle and says go long, I'd be looking for that as a target. But it's already in the target zone, so I'm going to pass on this one. And that's the way that works. So it took me about 20 seconds to decide whether or not to take the trade, and I wait for the next one. Now you are seeing it is breaking down. I don't know if we'd have 20 pips to the downside of this or not. Possibly. That's 11. Have to get all the way down here for the 20 pips if you're looking at a 20 pip target. And if you're looking at a target for 20 pips down here at this blue fib line or the red fib line, that's possible. I'm looking at a higher time frame. Let's see what it looks like on the higher time frame. Oops, that's pretty busy.
Just a little.
Just a little bit busy. Here's where it is right now. If it can break through here, it could possibly come down here. So there is a possibility that this thing could work. Actually, I do kind of like it on the 4 hour. Let's see what it looks like on the 1 hour here. This is still coming down. I think I will take that trade. Now all I'm going to do is go for 20 pips with a 40 pip stop. Boom, boom. And I'm in the trade. So basically we got the alert right about 138.97 looks like is where I got the entry in it. 138.97, which is right here. Looking for a target, 20 pip target. 97, 20 pips. Right about there to 38.76. Yeah, it might do that. It can probably do that. This would be the target. The fact that it's breaking through this, eating up this wick right over here. I remember a long time ago I said, you look for the wicks.
Mhm.
Come down, you look for a wick. Come over here until you hit another wick. Both coming down until you hit the body of it. Till you get done with the wicks, and then you have the body of the candle. And here's the body. Here's the test. Here's our target area right here. Could very well do that. And that's how that works. So with that, thanks everybody for coming in. Keep your powder dry, stay green. And I said, I'll be here at 9:30 tonight. If anybody shows up, great. If not, well, I won't wait very long. I'll wait about 10 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes. If no one shows up, then we will not do it. So thanks again. Thanks for coming in. Pedro, thanks again for sharing with us today. And we'll see everybody tomorrow.
See
Thanks,
y'all
everyone.
tomorrow. Have a great
Be
day.
well. God bless. Bye, guys.